Welcome to another video in the series Communication 100. In this video we will look at verbal communication. We're going to look at language, we're going to look at the nature of language, and in video 2 we'll look at the power of words and how they can be used to establish relationships. Well, why are we focusing on language? The answer is simply that words are powerful. Words affect how people understand each other or how we are perceived. That is, how we come across, how people understand you. A definition of language reads, the method of human communication, either spoken or written, consisting of words in a structured and conventional way. Conventional means that it's understood by everybody in a group or a culture. The nature of language is what we will look at, because people use words as symbols so that they are understood, and people attach meaning to words. There are two terms that you'll learn. In a later slide we'll unpack them, but it is denotative and connotative, and those are the two meanings of every word. And then finally, words are culture bound. So, number one, people use words as symbols. Well, we use a word because it represents a thought or an idea or even a feeling. Just much like a country uses a flag to represent its identity, a word is used to represent a thought or an idea. Number two is people attach meaning to words. So when we communicate, we need to use words so that the other person understands. You'll note in the slide, the nurse is communicating probably something quite difficult to the patient, and he's using very gentle words, gentle body language to create meaning. Now, in communication, we have a communication problem called bypassing. And bypassing simply means that the same word may mean different things to different people. Bypassing. And that is when someone uses a word, but in a different culture or in a different group, it means something different. For example, a person in America using the word freedom will be thinking of the Constitution, perhaps. However, a person maybe in an African war-torn area will think of that word very, very differently, and probably with great sadness. So words have different meanings to different people, and sometimes that causes a misunderstanding, bypassing. Now, I said to you there's two terms you're going to learn, because words have a denotative and a connotative meaning. Let's just look at the pronunciation. Denotative, connotative. What do these two words mean? Well, let's start with denotative. Denotative is simply the exact or the literal meaning of a word, how a word is defined in the dictionary. Now, you can see that in this conversation, the doctor is using words. You have a sprained ankle, so he's using the exact or literal meaning of each word to explain the injury to the patient. Now, I said to you, words have two meanings, denotative, the literal, and then you have connotative. Connotative is the feelings, both positive and negative, that are associated with a word. So, in the same example, the doctor is saying you have a sprained ankle, but the patient has a feeling about that, because he's concerned that he's not going to be able to go back to work, be a family man, he's not going to be able to play his sport for a long time. He has a feeling associated with the very same words the doctor used to describe his injury. connotative means the feelings around the meaning of a word. The meanings of words are also culture bound. So within a culture, words are shaped from one generation to another. So words can have different meanings for different cultures. So for example, in English, the word nova means bright star, like a supernova is a very, very bright star. In Latin, the word nova means new, and here's a strange one, in Spanish it means it does not go. Let's conclude with a quick review of what we've covered. Question 1, I want you to complete the definition of language. The answer, language is the method of human communication, either spoken or written, consisting of words in a structured and conventional way. That's correct. Now, I gave you two terms that words have a denotative and a connotative meaning. Let's check if you remembered them. The denotative meaning of a word is the literal or dictionary definition, which means the connotative meaning of a word is the feelings associated with a word. Question 4. What do you call the communication problem that happens when the same word means different things to different people? It's a communication problem called bypassing. And the final question, true or false? The meaning of a word can change from one culture to another. And of course, it is true. That's the end of Chapter 2, Part 1. Please review the slides, check the meaning of those words that we've covered, and then continue with Chapter 2, Part B. Thank you, students.